All right. Okay. Hey.
Am I flipped the opposite way of you?
I think you are flipped opposite way.
Let me flip
Okay,
across
okay.
here.
All right. So hey y'all, welcome to Vibe Out Zone. So we got Juston here. His short films about love may have launched him into the mainstream, but Juston Case is more than just a love-based filmmaker. 20-year-old Austin-based, has recently located. Director also writes, edits, produces documentaries, trailers, music videos, and so much more. He has openly expressed his gratitude for his loving friendships, his fondness for traveling, his appreciation for tattoos, and his passion for cameras. So welcome to the Vibe Out Zone, Juston.
What's up?
So how are you feeling?
It's pretty all right.
Pretty
You
all
know?
right? Okay, all
Yeah.
right. All right, so we're just gonna jump right into it. Was there any particular event or time that you recognized that filmmaking wasn't just like a side hobby, but it would be your life and your living?
Uh, Not anything in particular. Like no life-changing event that just made it all happen for me or anything crazy like that. I just grew up really liking to make and things, and
Okay,
ended up being just video stuff. I just constantly kept being around a camera and doing video things, whether it was for little tiny skits at my house with my friends, or if it was just video games or whatever. I just really liked doing things with cameras, and it
okay.
ended up kind of growing into I really like making things. So
What cameras? Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah,
Um,
that's pretty much it.
okay, that's cool. I like cameras too. More fond of taking pictures. Not a professional, but definitely fond of taking pictures. Um, is it starting to get more difficult, like, or continuing a project, does it ever get difficult? And how do you typically get over when you come to an obstacle that tends to kind of be more difficult than maybe you had anticipated it to be?
Yeah, I think a lot of people and especially a lot of artists go through big mental blocks. Um, and I think that's a big issue overall. I think like one thing that I find myself in a constant conversation with a lot of my friends is everything in life could be going so well, but at the same token, you feel really lost.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so you could be getting this amazing opportunity or this amazing chance, or someone's reaching out to you on something, but at the same time, you feel really lost inside of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's a huge mental struggle. And I feel that constantly on a lot of cool things that I'm doing, where I can like sit down on the editing process of something or sit down in like the pre-planning process, and I feel really lost, even though I know and have a clear direction of something. It's just very like I don't know. It's just a lot of like to do with like mental health on a sense.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, that's really the big struggle that I focus on when it comes to editing and like the whole process of things and doing stuff is just a lot of mental struggle. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Are
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
would you
yeah.
say you're like a perfectionist?
Oh yeah, of course. I feel like
Okay.
when you're in this field, you're kind of always a little bit of a perfectionist. So
Yeah, I can agree with that. Not just
yeah.
because I feel like me myself, I'm a perfectionist. So I know that when I feel like I'm not doing something the way I anticipated it to, I will tend to like look at myself and be like, you could be doing so much better than what you're doing right now. You could be
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
much better than what you're doing right now. Like we thought
yeah.
about this. Do better. Um, so I can understand like the mental health part of it. I feel like that tends to go unnoticed a lot. You know,
Mm.
people are like, hey, you need to have this, and this. And it's like life happens. Sometimes, mental health can be something that needs to be focused on.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
what was the most important lesson that you learned that impacted the way that you create your films?
I don't know. I hate getting like super uh I guess worldly about it, but I don't know, just like personal experience. I like creating in my mind and my work and my flow. I just like making real shit. and
Yeah.
I just have dealt with too much of not real people and not real shit, that it kind of makes you open your eye to the things that are not real. And there's a lot of not real in this community. There's not a lot of not real in this workmanship. There's a lot of not real in the world.
Yeah.
And it's whack. So I just like to try to be as real as I can, and that comes with everything that goes on. But if I can be honest and just be open and transparent and just make shit that is attuned to me, that I want to attune to other people, and not care about, uh, you know, does this make sense or things like that. It's just I like to focus on the real things, and that comes down to not just art or my craft or someone else's craft. That's just relationships. That's friendships. That's work, flow to flow. Like there's just a lot of not real people in this world, and a lot of the things I like to focus on is real stuff. That's what I
Yeah.
want to focus on.
Yeah, we don't like fake shit around here. I can, if I'm even
Yeah,
allowed to say that, we don't like fake stuff. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, so we'll say fake
yeah.
stuff. But I agree with that. I definitely 100% agree with that. I feel like that's a big flaw. Um, I'm sorry that you have to deal with that, but I respect you being open about it and explaining how that does impact you. So I've seen that you've collaborated with musicians and actors and models. So how did you discover the people that you work with? And then how did you maintain those relationships once you did your initial project with them?
Um, So that's something that I'm like still trying to learn heavily. I love what I do. I'm in love with what I do, without question. One of those things where it's like it sucks if I come to the realization one day that I don't love what I do because I have too many tattoos of camera shit all over my body. So
Okay. And
I'll be
I heard it sucks to get tattoos removed.
yeah, so I'll be SOL. No, I love what I do. I mean, right now I work in a camera shop, so I work 45
Okay.
hours plus a week talking about cameras, and
Damn.
then I come home and I talk about cameras, and
So
I
cameras
sit
are
down in front of
live.
yeah, I sit down in front of my computer and I talk about cameras, and no, I love what I do, and that has definitely bit me in the ass multiple times, just because I'm one of those people where I am only 21. I just moved to Dallas. I am intending to leave Texas soon. Um, I love what I do, and so when someone shares that same enthusiasm toward what I do and say, "Damn, dude, like I like the shit that you do," or "This is really dope," or yada yada yada, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Um, I just get super excited about it, and then I forget the fact that I am, as much as I am as an artist, I am a business person, and I have to be
Yeah.
able to sustain myself and sustain my craft and understand my time and my well-being and yada yada yada. So,
Yeah.
um, I am usually friends with everyone that I do something with. I That's usually how I make it, whether I'm just meeting with them and I become a friend with them and then we've come and be like, hey, you help me out, I'll help you out, let's do something together. That's usually how it is. I usually end up building friendships with everyone that I work with, just
Yeah.
because I think an important thing when working with people is building that relationship. That's how you get the best of things.
Hmm.
Uh, so it's definitely bit me in the ass because people that are not that real when it comes up to front, I get super enthusiastic about something and then I end up getting messed over in the end. But through that process, you learn to meet real people and really dope people and people that are just as enthusiastic in what you do as they do it themselves. And you meet some of the coolest people, and like all my friends, all my closest of friends are there for a reason because of how much they are a real friend to me.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm just now starting to branch out into the world of working with people that I don't know on firsthand. Like
Yeah.
that's someone like I'm gonna show up to this space and this is the first time I'm meeting you and now we're going into something. Like this is
Yeah.
the first time in my life that I've been starting to do that, which is definitely weird, but it's cool. It's cool being you know, like having that I guess that Texas polite charm because it's cool to be able to like go and rock into a situation and just like know that 9 times out of 10 you're gonna click with someone.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, it's cool.
I
I mean,
can.
going nice really leads you a long way for sure.
Yeah. Texas definitely has that effect on you. you
Oh
are
yeah.
able to, I feel like, connect in a lot of different places. As long as you have
Oh
a
yeah.
relationship with one person, that can get you a long way. Texas is its own is its own country, I feel like.
Yeah.
Not
No,
just
I
its
feel
own
like
state.
relationships are one of the most important things ever, to be honest with you. I feel like if
Yeah,
people just started feeling they had to do everything alone, there wouldn't be a lot of artists in the world. So,
definitely.
yeah.
Being able to click naturally
Oh,
is
for
a
sure.
yeah, definitely. So you lived in Germany before,
Mm-hmm.
for quite a while, but now you're in Dallas, not Austin anymore. Um, so how does that influence, how does where you've been to where you're at now influence how and what you do to make what you process, like how you make it, how you process it. Because Germany to Texas is a big difference. And
Oh
even
yeah.
Austin, I feel like to Dallas is kind of a dynamic difference.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, so I spent a good amount of time in Germany. My dad's military, but I'm full German anyway. And um, yeah, there's a lot of different things. I don't know. I think the biggest thing was growing up in a place that's not definitely not the States.
Mm-hmm.
You start to like realize different things. You can be a little bit more open-minded to how other people are in the world, because a lot of people that stay in their original space and don't travel or don't connect or don't try to understand other people have a hard time trying to be open-minded about things.
Yes.
So I'd like to be, a little self-absorbed here for a second, but I like to think that I'm pretty open-minded and understanding
I'm
of
an
things.
open-minded person.
Yeah, I'd like to think that I am. I strive to try to be as open-minded
Mhm.
as I possibly can, and try to connect with people on that basis. But other than that, I don't have some strange European undertones in my work that I have not discovered yet or anything like that. I don't know. I don't know.
Digging into your roots.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool being European because it's cooler in the sense that I get to connect with Europeans better. Like
Hmm.
my best friend's Russian,
That's cool.
and he's a tattoo artist, and like I just you get to connect with people like that. I have a lot of gigs in England right now, and I have some amazing buds in France that I'm working with, and it's just easier to
Okay.
connect with those people if you're like, hey, you're not like I'm not
I'm
like
not
I
like from
understand.
the States.
I've
Like
been
I'm
there,
with you.
Yeah, I know where you're at. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's easier to kind of click and connect with people like that. But I mean, no, I don't have some fucking Michelangelo type European vibes going through me making shit. I don't know, yeah. Being from Europe is cool, but I still very much so look and sound like I'm American, so it doesn't matter too much.
Okay, okay, cool. So, what would you say makes for a great film for you? Are there certain qualities that make it a better film? Are there certain, do you look into, like, when you're watching a film, is there certain things that you look for that, sets in with you? Like, yeah, this is cool.
Um, oof, that's so weird because I have filmmaker friends, and then like when you tap into the filmmaker world, the director world, people are really there's just so many different types of filmmakers.
Hmm.
It's pretty funky to be honest with you. There's encyclopedia filmmakers that are like, I know every director, actor, I know exactly the year this came out type people.
Oh, really?
Um,
I have
and
a
there's
friend that's
the
like that.
yeah, then there's the indie directors that are like, dude, A24 is the best production company. Like you have like so many little bit of directors and stuff like that. I don't know where to classify myself at, to be honest with you. Just because like my top 10 like film favorite movies list, I like have like School of Rock with Jack Black in there,
Oh,
and
absolutely. That's a
yeah, like
classic.
movies
That
that
is a
aren't
classic.
movies that
That is a
aren't maybe like
classic movie.
cinema god tiers, but A24 is fire though.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe not cinema god tiers, but at the same token, um, I don't know. I like a movie. I guess I have like kind of like two thoughts on it. A movie that can turn my director brain off. I feel like anyone that isn't crafted in some sort of craft, like it could be you in paperwork, or it's you
Mhm.
in painting, or you in drawing, or things like that. When you look at something and you're so passionate about something and you're an expert in something, expert, you uh you have like a preconceived notation of how this goes down. You know how things structured, things like that. I love movies that can like take me out of my director head, because usually I like, it sucks, but I go into a movie and I'm already thinking about what's wrong with it, what's right with it. You know, is this part good? Is this part not good? Is this
Yeah.
shot well? Is this not shot well? Did the direction do right here? Are the actors doing
Hmm.
great? Like 1,000 things are running through my head, and I love a movie that can take me out of that mind space and just purely just be like, holy shit, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
Which is why, like, you know, I love mindless movies like School of Rock. I love super intense movies like Interstellar. I love classic movies that can bring me out of that element. Like, there's just a lot of things that if I can take myself out of an element that I already have going into a movie, that's
Hmm.
already starting off as like, wow, this is really great to me. Because there's some amazing movies out there that people think are amazing, but when I go through it, it doesn't click, doesn't connect with me. Doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It just doesn't.
Just didn't do it for me.
Just didn't do it for me.
Yeah,
Exactly.
just didn't do it for
And
you.
I think that's the same for like music artists and producers and editors and things like that. Like, when you're an expert in this situation, you are
You
like
see it from a
living.
different. You see it from a
Oh yeah,
different
you see it from a
lens.
perspective, right?
Yeah. Mm.
Like a photographer. I mean, I know, because doing videography and photography and stuff like that, like, you know how many times I go outside and I don't say, wow, that looks really cool. I go, wow, that'd be really cool to do a shot there, or like a scene here, or
Yeah.
that'd be really good lighting or something like that. It's just something that could take me out of the element is a really cool thing. But other than that, you know, all the classics, you know, good writing, good directing, good whatever, those are good movies. But
Just a overall good classic movie.
yeah, you know what I
School of
mean?
Rock is a good movie. I think the other day I was talking to my boyfriend about that. Like, we were talking about just classic movies, classic songs, like just the classics that were just great. Like, you can't go wrong with it in any
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Definitely. So kind of to piggyback off of that, what films then are most inspiring or were inspirational for you, and why were those inspirational to you? Why did it resonate with you?
Um, so I don't have like an all-time movie that like hit and resonated with me, and like the movie tone itself resonated with me, which sounds weird, but I've yet to have a movie that's just like, this movie inspires me to do something more or things like that. I've had movies that have specific elements to it that make me feel inspired, which
Mm-hmm.
is weird, but like, Christopher Nolan's one of my favorite directors. Not because that Christopher Nolan and I direct the same way, or I would like to direct like Christopher Nolan or anything like that, but I love Christopher Nolan because in a world of digital technology and the way that filmmaking is advancing and technology is advancing and things like that, Christopher Nolan still rocks a like 1990s task, like little view cam that connects to their systems, and he
Yeah.
directs literally right behind his DP and his camera op, which is
Oh,
so
that's
cool.
tight. That is really
Yeah,
tight.
because
Yeah,
if you
that's
watch them
great.
behind the scenes on movies, there's a lot of directors that sit like 3 miles in a tent, you know, away, and then
They're
give.
like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
Good shot.
yeah. I like being hands on and messy and things like that, and that stuff inspires me. Like the concept of Interstellar, which is a really one of my favorite movies of all time. It's just because the fact that, you know, shot on 70 millimeter IMAX, which was never done before for IMAX viewing. They went beyond, super beyond. Like the DP on that is Hoyte von Hoytema, and it was the first dude to ever handhold a like $250 system, or $50 250-pound system, while running moving film and getting a shot. Like, they went beyond, and I think there's like, out of the entire movie, I think there's only 90 frames that were shot and with CGI included. They try to do everything realism, which is hard to do in a space film.
Yeah.
Um, so like things like that, elements like that bring me out. I like story concepts. I know this is like, I guess it's like controversial now, but I like the idea of Call Me by Your Name, which is a uh, super good film. And I think it kind of gets some flack and not flack, but I love that movie. I think it's so good because it touches on a topic that not a lot of people like to talk about, or in the film genre, movies in this genre are garbage.
Said just trash.
Yeah, so
Trash.
I so my roommate's gay, and I know that in the, LGBTQ community, there's not a lot of like really good films that have a good representation of something. And I think a lot
Hmm.
of that comes down to the fact that like any LGBTQ type movie is all about being LGBTQ,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
it's screaming, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay.
Yeah.
And it's just not real. Like no one,
No one goes around like, I'm gay. I'm
yeah, like it's
gay.
not real. Like I
I'm
almost,
gay.
it's weird, but I almost take it as in like they're separating the fact that these people are people.
Our people are just genuine people. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
literally.
so they
So
like the same sex.
yeah, so it's like I think the concept of Call Me by Your Name is the whole fact that it's just like it's a love film that just so
Hmm.
happens to be gay anyway.
Hmm.
And so I like the concept that that's just real as hell. I just like that concept of like those are the elements that I like to pull. Is like this is some real shit. Like this is real type shit, even though
Exactly.
it's different type shit, but it's real type shit, and it's not all about something that just should be overplayed or
Hmm.
overlooked or like, things like that. Like I really mess with the idea of it just being general and like real, and that's like why I want to pull toward my future in directing and getting into like more short films and getting bigger into these things is like I really, really want to just make
Real shit.
genuine,
It sounds
real
like
shit.
real. Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
like genuine. Which is, to me, I feel like a great thing because you don't want to see stuff that's just like this shit never does happen like this, dog.
Mm,
Like this is unreal. Like it sounds good, it looks good on camera, but it's not
yeah.
real. I
Oh
want
yeah.
something that I can resonate with. That damn. Apologize for this train, y'all. It's about to be really loud.
It's about to be.
I hate. Okay, listen. I live by this train track, and this person. I don't even know if this is really the person, but he'll blow a horn like this. Like we hear you and see you. You know what I'm saying? Like we can hear you, and obviously the things are down so people can't cross the track. Why are you still screaming and blowing on your horn?
Like three times. Three times.
Yes, like no one is crossing the road, sir.
Yeah.
No one's crossing the road. I'm sorry. I had to point that out. But yes, I can definitely appreciate the fact that you want to bring more genuine realism to films and what you're going to create. See,
Yeah.
yes, the train check. I apologize about that. But yes, like I can appreciate that. So that's real cool because I like to watch movies that I'm like, damn, like, I can really resonate with that. I can really feel that. Like that's some real shit.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing is it doesn't even have to be like some super serious, like on tone, like, oh my God, this is the most dramatic thing that I've watched in my life kind of thing. It just needs to be real. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate that. Is like, you could be a dick, what I mean? You could be a garbage person. But
Hmm.
if you accept that you're a garbage person, you know that you're a garbage person, then people are gonna at least respect it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're like, you know what? I'm not expecting anything else from you. You're a garbage person that's real. Like that sucks, and you shouldn't be a garbage person. But I get it. But it's just those people that are like
Like
too.
Two-Faced?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just it's like people like that, companies like that, brandings that are like that. It's just not cool.
No. I
No,
feel like you put in
that's
you
why
selling
that's
wrong.
why that's why brands are hiring more smaller and underground artists right now. The Wally effect.
Yeah. The Wally effect.
Yeah, you know how in Wally
Yes, the
they find the
Wally
plant,
effect.
they find the real life, and
Yes,
they're like, no, what? Yeah,
you can have it.
yeah.
I
It's
like
the
that.
Yeah, it's the Wally effect.
It's the Wally
Brands
effect.
now are looking for because they know that more and more people, the world's getting too perfect, and the more and more people are realizing that they want to see realer things.
Hmm.
So brands like Nike, Adidas, and things like that are looking at smaller artists to make real things for their companies because they know that more people can connect with that.
Yep.
That's why you start seeing like disconnecting from larger like sourcing and branding and advertisement companies. That's why you see more people like mainstreaming from Twitter and social media and things like
Social
that,
media is
and
a huge platform now.
yeah, getting these crazy brand deals or crazy ideas and crazy opportunities is
Hmm.
because people connect with them because they're real, and so brands are realizing that holy shit, maybe we should start becoming
Maybe
more
we should.
real, which
Yeah,
is
maybe we should stop being some fake bitches. Maybe we should be
yeah,
real.
literally what it is, literally what it is. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, definitely. Um, so I feel like you've already kind of answered the question because you said you don't like stuff that's not real. But are there any qualities in a cinema, like in today's world, I guess so to say, that
Yeah,
you dislike, or something that you will kind of avoid, that you don't want in your work?
dude. I'll probably, a lot of people not be happy. I don't want to make a Kevin Hart movie, you know.
I don't want to do it. I'm sorry. Unpopular opinions. It's not me.
No, so I'll tell it quick. There's a cool story. So, uh, Taika Waititi just directed Roger Rabbit. He won an Oscar for it, or I think
Hmm.
he won an Oscar for it. Taika Waititi's story is actually really cool. Not a lot of people know the story, but Taika Waititi's from New Zealand. Taika Waititi has a very interesting style of directing. It's like dramatic overtones with comedic undertones. So,
Hmm.
like Roger Rabbit is about a kid really loving Nazi Germany and having a Jew in his attic and dealing with the conflict of that. And
Yeah.
that's a very serious topic, but
Yeah.
it's comedic in a sense. It's super good, and that's what like Taika Waititi likes to do. So a story is that he made a whole bunch of like shorts, a whole bunch of like directed a whole bunch of TV shows, all the stuff for that, and New Zealand got the opportunities that he wanted in New Zealand, and he's like 40 something right now, and or maybe late 30s, but he got multiple times $1 million contracts to come out to Hollywood to direct Hollywood films,
Yeah.
and he declined almost all of them. And the reason why, which you're probably thinking like, holy shit, this guy's crazy, like $1 million, $1 million, is because in Hollywood, you know who directed a Tarantino movie, right? When you watch
Yeah.
Kill Bill, you're like, that's Tarantino. When you watch Django, you're like, that's Tarantino. When you watch
Yeah.
Interstellar, you know that's Christopher Nolan. You
Hmm.
watch any Wes Anderson movie, we all know that's Wes Anderson.
Right.
You watch these type of movies with big directors that have their own style, their own vibe, their own way, the way that they do things. And you know, it's because that's what they like to create. That's what they want to create. And then if
Hmm.
uh, you look at other movies, and yeah, I'll ask you, who directed the last King Kong movie? Or do you know who directed the first three Iron Man movies? How about, do you know who directed, I don't know, who directed the last Men in Black movie? Um, right? Like,
Yeah.
you don't know. And it's because Hollywood and cinema in general just has two types of directors. One is I listen to the council board, and this is what I do, and this is I get paid for this, and I get paid $1 million contracts and so forth. And the other ones are I'm doing this because I love what I'm doing and I want to make what I want to make. And so Taika Waititi declined all these offers until he was offered the job that was best for him. So he slept on his parents' couch until he got offered Thor Ragnarok, and they said, "We need something to revive the Thor series. Please do what you do." And he revived the Thor series, and
Hey.
then he went on to direct yeah, Roger Rabbit. Roger, I just said Roger Rabbit. Anyways, yeah. So that is something that I connect with. I just think that I, as a director, want to continue to try to attempt to write because I'm terrible at writing. I want to continue to try to write. I want to continue to try to try. I want to keep directing until I can direct what I would like to direct. Not because I want to listen to a produce board and direct the next Iron Man movie. I want to direct the things that I connect with and am in tune with and the things that I love the most. And that's just because I love what I do. And I don't just love the paycheck or
Yeah.
the.
Money doesn't make it for you.
Mm-mm. So that story pushes it through because yeah, it's a 1 in a million story for sure. I got told that all my life. What I
Yeah.
do is 1 in a million, and that I have a better chance of it not happening. But I always tell myself 1 in a million is an odd that 1 in a million make, and why can't I be that 1 in a million? So
Yeah.
so
It's
yeah,
a good mindset to have.
so I attune to that. I think that that's kind of where it is in cinema. I don't like, to wrap it back to your question, is I don't like think because at the end of the day, cinema is just entertainment, right? For me, it's a
Yeah.
passion. For someone else, it's an entertainment, and I want to be able to entertain but also make something that I could feel and connect with. And
Yeah.
when entertainment starts becoming a sellout, like it has always been throughout history, but when it starts to become mainly a sellout and not about pure entertainment, that's what I don't like about cinema.
Yeah.
So I don't like
Yeah.
about a lot of things like that. But that's also why I don't want to stay in the States,
So
because I don't
where,
like.
so are you trying, so I remember earlier you said that you were planning on moving out of Texas. So where are you planning to go to?
Mm. So one of my closest friends lives in New York, and I go to New York quite often for work. And I love New York, although it's not a place for directors. Many times you go to New York and they'll tell you to go to Hollywood, in LA. But I don't know. I would like to go to New York to get a lot more experience on some things, and then my dream for the rest of my life is my brother lives in Cambridge. I love England a lot. And so I would really like to make my actual 100% director debut in London, because
Okay.
London is like the Hollywood of Europe. And if you see a lot of, there's a shit ton of English artists and actors and actresses and directors and things like that. A lot of production companies are based in England. And I think that's where I would rather be than anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I would like to get some experience in New York as soon as I can. And then from there, I would like to move over to England, go
Well,
back to
like
Europe.
you said, 1 in a million. So I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do it.
Oh
Um,
yeah, for sure. I think I should.
I think getting out of the States, I would like to get out of the States currently. Um,
Yeah.
but so then kind of to piggyback off of that, I would say too, what failures of your own that you have come across have like what have you been able to learn from? Like which failure have you been able to, that you have, what's the word I'm looking for? I have a brain for it. What failure have you learned most from? And then how did that kind of really resonate with you that like, hey, I need to change this part. Let me really learn from this mistake so that it won't happen again, but then better myself within this same.
Yeah. I will say I'm very lucky and blessed in my life to only deal with failures that are based off of my own mental perception.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of my friends and close friends and people that I work with and people that are not as fortunate in that situation have actual failures where I've gone into projects and lost a couple $100 to, $1,000 or so. And it sucks, but I feel like I'll be okay at the end of it all. And I know there's a lot of people in that situation that don't feel that way.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It inhibits people to do something that they really love to do, and which sucks. So I'm very grateful and very privileged in that sense that I'm able to have that opportunity for myself. Because my failures to myself, or like I said, are only my mental perception on things. When I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I fail in the sense that I feel like I can't understand, or I can't push myself to do something, or I can't uh, force myself in the manner that I'd like to force myself in, those are failures to me. Even those senses of having bad relationships with people and people messing me over and experiences that I've had happen to me, those are not failures because um, I have gained valuable lessons from it, and it's on me. But when I start to fail myself, that's when a failure is to come through. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I'm very, very blessed to that's where my failures come through because a lot of people aren't blessed in that area.
Yeah.
And so I haven't had a super big experience in my life where it's been like, I've failed tremendously and I feel like this was a learning experience. I have only had experiences in my life where I started to fail myself and realized that I shouldn't be that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of failing myself, I've had, multiple experiences where, like I said, learning experiences where I've messed with working with other people and things like that, and then not being able to see opportunities and inside of my own space um, that were not coming toward me. The things that were coming toward me were not coming that way, and that I should have realized these things. I should have gave myself more thought and more value and more be more of, like I said before, I many times have I taken advantage of because I just am so passionate about what I do and what I love to do.
Yeah.
So when people share that enthusiasm, I kind of tend to start losing that understanding of also being a business person on the side of being an artist, and which is hard. But Yeah, man, I don't have failures like other people do, and I am very blessed for that. Um, because it pushes me to work harder, to say that, like, you're failing yourself because you are doing things like, of course I have money struggles and stuff like that. I'm 21. I live in Dallas, and I work at a camera shop. Like, do I have money on money on money? Hell no. I'm broke as hell.
Right?
Uh,
Do you ever really have enough money?
yeah, balling on a budget, as I say all the time. But I push myself for, because my friends are so supportive of me, and as much as I want to be supportive of them and so on and so
And
forth, I
that's
try
a
to push
very
myself.
important thing, that you have a strong support system. And when you're
Yeah,
doing something that you love.
yeah, I hope so. Well, this is my thing, is which all kind of comes back to, like, doing the real shit. Um, I just I'm one of those people that's like, cool, you talked to me once about this project we're working on, great, slap your ass on the credit section. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
I
I'm gonna give you credit because you helped me.
yeah,
Let me put you on there.
well, it's just like things like that. I don't know. I like to think that my friends and the people that I work with and the things that I do with is stuff that we're all in it together. Even if it's a project we
Hmm.
didn't even work on, like, cool, we're in this together. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, uh,
If I eat, my
so,
friends eat.
yeah, that's really how it
Yeah.
is. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, I mean, I have to kind of do it for the people that, um, I have to do it for myself, and then I have to do it for the people that are behind me as well, because I feel like I owe it to my friends who have put the hours, that have put the time in dealing with my mental struggle on things. I owe it for the people that don't get that opportunity, um, and I owe it to myself, most importantly, because if I wasn't doing this, I don't know what my life would even be. I don't even think I would be alive if I wasn't doing what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I don't have failures. Like, I've lost money, I've lost friends, I've lost people that I thought were friends, I've done things like that. But at the end of the day, those are all really cool learning experiences, and it might hurt and it might suck now, but give it a year or two, and
Back
I'll
up on
be
your
on.
feet.
I'll be on to other things, is what
Yeah.
I'd like to say.
Yeah. So you've kind of already answered it, but would you say that the film business is fair? And then if you would,
No, no, hell
why
no,
is it not?
hell no, it
I just
isn't.
remember you saying like, no, this shit's fake.
No,
People are
it's
not real.
hell no. It's
Yeah.
so it's so bad. It's so bad. No, it is. I mean, that's really what it is in arts too. It's discrimination. It's racism. There's inequalities. There's biases. There's everything. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks to see a lot of my friends of color not get opportunities that they should be given opportunities. It sees a lot of inequality to a lot of female artists that are out there that are doing amazing things that don't get chosen because of their female artist. Yeah, the film community is not even just the film community, just the art community in the world is just so
Yeah.
not in that favor. And it sucks. And a lot of it is because it's dictated by branding and what is easily marketable and what is easily obtained and things like that.
Hmm.
Which comes down to, real shit. It's like,
Yeah. If
fuck
it's
if
just
it's
fake.
obtainable, fuck if it's marketable. Like, sure, be smart about things like that, but fuck if it's that. If you have to make a statement on something, like, you have to make that statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It shouldn't
yeah,
matter.
the
Hmm.
film community is super super not that way, but more people that can start to be that way is when things will change. So I
Yeah.
like to try to be that way. So
Yeah, definitely. I could see you being that way. I don't think you're fake. You know what I'm saying? I think you do. I think
I
you like
mean,
that.
I'm trying not to say too much, like, be real, because it's always the people that preach being real that are not real, on some real Rust type shit.
Okay, it's like,
So
okay, yeah, but are you real though? Are you just
yeah,
saying
yeah,
this shit
yeah,
because you don't
yeah.
want to seem like
No,
you're fake?
yeah.
No, I feel that though. I can respect that. Um, so would you say that the filmmaker takes the responsibility to find and develop your audience, or would you say is it the filmmaker's role to worry about the audience or keep their wants in mind?
There's a shit ton of levels to that, and it sucks because there's a lot of tiers to that when you're talking about, like, your homegrown director that's working in their small town backyard, directing a music video for the friend that's doing it. It's up to you to obtain what that audience is going to perceive. Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
up to you to obtain that audience and up to you to understand that audience. When you're in a bigger city and you're working with bigger brands, then you have to kind of conglomerate on what exactly those things are going to be and how that audience is going to be perceived. And then when you work on a larger scale and a worldly scale, um, then it might not be up to you. But I
Hmm.
think I don't have enough experience in that to even know at that point. I just hear from stories and experiences to hear what kind of like that workflow and exact is like. But I think it's up to you as an artist when you're obtaining something like that, almost like the Taika Waititi story is like it's up to you to choose what you're doing. Even if it could be a Dior could reach out to you tomorrow and say, hey, I love your shit. Let's do this photo shoot or this video shoot and stuff like that. And then they're like, we're gonna pay you 50 grand for it. And you're like, hell yeah, that's a great opportunity. But then they go, so we wanna release this line and be like, we don't care about racial inequality or things like that. Well, it's up to you to like agree or not to agree to that. You know what I mean? The money might be good, the
Yeah.
opportunity might be good,
But
but at
is
the end of
it
the day,
ethically good to you? Like,
yeah, it's your message, right?
hmm.
Even if it's like the brand's overall overseeing, it's your message. So, um, I think that responsibility is upon any and every artist when they're working in that sense, in that community, the film community, any community. So,
Okay. Would you
I don't
say
know.
that selling out is possible? Uh, and what does that mean to you? And would you like it to happen or not? I feel like you would, but that's my personal opinion. So I want to hear your answer.
So you said selling out is possible as in like what?
Like, I guess in a sense of, do you believe that when you make a short film or something of yours, like say if you were to make something, would you believe that you could sell it out? That it would be a sold out production, a sold out.
Oh, uh, I don't know. So I don't like to talk about it too much because I don't want to like bring it up. I like to try to like move forward on it. So when I released Love Stupid Don't Do It, which is the film that made me get a lot of people, it was a really huge thing in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's a substantial thing in my life, right? Something I'm very happy and proud of, but something I definitely moved past from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was amazing. It was something that I had been writing for a long time, and like I said, I'm shit at writing. I am ass cheeks at writing, and
Big
it's
booty butt
because
cheeks.
yeah, I'm big old booty cheeks at writing, and it's because I don't know, I get too I overthink too much, and because when I don't know. I'm a terrible speller. I'm just garbage. I write in all capital letters. I don't punctuate. And so when I write things down, I get really finalized on things. And
Yeah.
so when it comes down to writing, I usually have all the ideas in my head, but I never can write. So I've been trying to write this thing for forever, a long time. I've been like writing things in my notes. I've been, voice messaging everything down. That's how I usually write, is I just kind of interview myself in voice messages. It's really really strange, and I swear to God, if people went through my voice messages, they'd think I'm crazy. So I just like interview myself in voice messages, kind of get it all out of me. So I've been trying to write this all this time, and then I ended up was working like 40 hours plus at my job. I wasn't doing anything creative. I hadn't done anything creative in forever. I felt really like depressed and really down.
Yeah.
And then I decided that I was gonna do a random spur trip to New York, and I was like, I'm gonna take 10 days. This is 2 years ago. I'm gonna take 10 days, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it. So I did it, and with my best friend Arthur, my Russian best friend, and
Okay.
we went, and I just filmed everything. I had no intentions in mind. I didn't do much writing. I needed a mental break. That was the first time in my life where I felt like super lost, and
Yeah.
so I needed this big mental break. So we went, stayed with amazing people, met amazing people, did some cool shit, and then I got super fucking sick. Like I had the flu, and
Oh.
I was so sick the last 2 days that I was there, and so I ended up flying back home. And I get back home and I'm laying in my bed and I'm like, dude,
What the fuck?
I feel like I have something to write or some shit. It was the first day that I was back. So I
Yeah.
stayed up all that day. I had 2 days off before I was going back to work. I had all those 2 days. That day, I circled around my house, like in my living room. I was dying. But I was like circling around my house because that's how I like think. So I just like to have to give a move. It's really weird too. Um, but I just like circled around in my living room and then started speaking to myself. And then I did it. And then I sat down for 30 minutes. I wrote out the script of Love is Stupid, Don't Do It. I narrated it. My voice was super deep because I was sick. And then I took all the footage that I had in New York. I spliced it all together. I edited it and I exported it at 3 a.m. I posted it the next day at 10 a.m. And then I had no expectations. I just something that I had on my mind for a really long time, and it happened. And it was the first time in my
Hey.
life where I reached a viral platform and had thousands of people. And it was one of the best experiences in my life in the sense that had um, not because I had people looking at my stuff, which felt very gratifying and self-satisfactory in my
Yeah.
sense, but it was so amazing in the sense of talking about real shit was that I was staying at, I'd get off of work at 1 a.m. and I'd stay in the parking lot of my job until like 5 a.m. just reading DMs from people that were like, I watched this and it changed my life. It made me realize I loved the girl that I love. It made me realize I hated the girl I hated. It made me
I
realize that
really
like,
hated her. I did.
yeah, it made me realize that I really fucked up in my relationship. It made me realize that I needed something in the relationship. I got crazy stories like this made me realize that I really did love this, and
Yeah.
it was cool. That was the most, like, that was the real knocker on being like, damn, dude, making real shit is where I'd love to be and connecting
Yeah.
with real people because I never connected to people like that before. I was getting people from fucking India to Australia to Canada to over in Europe to anywhere in South
Damn, that's
America.
crazy. That's dope.
Yeah, people messaging me being like, this changed everything for me, and it was amazing. And
That's
that was the
good
most
though.
yeah, that was the most gratifying thing. And so now when I look forward and go through that, that's what I strive for. I no longer really care too much about doing numbers. I don't really care too much about um doing certain things. And what I strive for now is I really just want people to like sit down and be like, damn, dude, I fuck with this.
Yeah.
And that's what I strive for. I strive for like personal connection with people, even if it's as simple as like making a little brand advertisement and someone go,
Yeah.
damn, that's really cool, to making shorts that I'm writing and one day hopefully films that I'm writing, that people can go, wow, like I really connected with that in some sense, some way.
That's a
And
really
so
dope story though. Like the fact
thank
that
you.
you had the flu and then you're like, I gotta get up. I gotta do it right now.
Yeah, well, that was the thing is it was so interesting to me because it took forever to like months. I'm talking like I used to work at HEB, so it took months of me outside pushing carts and shit like that with my headphones in, just
Yeah.
talking to myself, at like 10, 11 at night, closing parking lot on pushing carts and stuff like that, and like talking to
I
myself.
was
I'm like,
like
damn, dude,
this.
I want to write, I want to do this, I'm gonna do this. I don't know. And then I go to New York just because I need to release something. I've been working my ass off all this time. I need to do something. And then I get super sick. And then out of nowhere, uh,
Definitely
out of
agree with
nowhere, it
Daryl.
literally,
When he
yeah,
said that's
something
your
that took,
calling, I can definitely agree with that. Like when
yeah, thank you. Well,
you
it was
just
just weird
have
because
that in you.
it took months for me to do something that took literally 3 hours
Yeah.
in a day and then released it just because I knew I needed to release it, not because I thought it was going to do anything. I had no intentions of it, which I know people talk about a lot when stuff goes like viral or things like that. I had no intentions of that going anywhere. I just had to
You had to let it
speak on
out.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had to let it out.
And then it went somewhere. And it was crazy to me. I was like, damn, dude. Everyone was like, man, you must have been writing that forever. And I was like, actually, I wrote that in 3 hours. So,
Yeah,
like,
like no. Hop off. I did it in three
yeah.
hours, okay.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, it only took me like 3 hours. I thought
Quick
about it
flex.
forever. I thought about it for months, but the actual writing process took 3 hours. And people were like, "You're such a
Yeah.
great writer," and I was like, "Trust me, I'm absolute garbage."
I just got the
Um,
flu and had no choice but to be in my bed. So
yeah, yeah,
that's what
but
it
it's cool. So that's why I just that's where like a real spark when it came to making real shit was because of that
Because of
story,
that.
that experience. Because when I got that feedback from people, when I was able to connect with people like that I had never been able to connect to before,
Yeah.
that made it real for me. That was like,
Yeah.
oh, whoa,
Like, oh shit.
that's well, yeah. I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, not, I always knew I wanted to direct it. I always, that was not English. I always knew I wanted to direct, but I didn't know what my style was or where I wanted to go or what I wanted to do. I didn't know what it was, and then that happened, and I said, I want to try to recreate this every single time.
I
I
want to
want
do
to do
this.
this all the
This is
time.
the feeling I want every single time.
Yeah, I want to talk to
Yeah.
people like that. So it was cool. No, that was where it's at.
I like that story. That makes me, I feel inspired to go and do my podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
I do.
podcasts are kicking. I
I
love
feel
podcasts.
I feel inspired. It's just because a lot of the time, like when I'm doing my I know this is like off topic, but when I'm doing my
No, go for
podcast,
it.
like I will get like a point where I'm kind of like, I'll have this like, damn, like, and I have like 4 different journals where I'm like, I need to write, and I'll write, or I'll write on my phone, and then I'm like, because I just need to get it out of me. Like, I'll be talking to a friend, and I'm just like, damn, I should really speak on this topic because I feel like I've talked to 4 different people about the same conversation, and then I'll get to doing my recording, and it's just like crickets. Like, I'm just like, I don't know if I need this, if I sound good, is this really what I want to portray? Like, are they gonna grasp what I want them to grasp? Like,
Yeah.
but like my first video when I did it, I didn't really have a script I went off of. I kind of just did it because I needed to talk about it. Like, it was just really heavy on me, and I was like, I just gotta get this out, gotta get it out. And I got a lot of feedback, so I feel like I can, just like you said, when you just like, I gotta talk about it. I gotta get it off of me. Like, you
It's a
feel like a
feeling.
crackhead. Like, you just like, I gotta get it
Yeah,
out.
dude,
I gotta
literally.
get
I
it
know
out.
exactly what that is. Yeah.
Like crackhead energy. It's just like, I gotta get it out right now. I gotta do it right now. Has
Yeah.
to be done at this moment. So,
Yeah. No, super understand that. Super feel that.
what is the most important piece of advice that you would share with any filmmakers that are just starting out? I would
Mm.
even say filmmakers that have even made it. Just any filmmaker in general, just any piece of advice that you would give out.
Yeah. I have some amazing friends that always come to me for advice, and same thing, I come to them for advice. And we talk about consistently. It's just really fucking with your own shit. Is really what it is. Just understand that you're doing it for a reason, and that's the reason you're doing it. And that's literally what it is. You're just fucking with your own shit. There's literally no other way I can explain it other than that. You are gonna go through some struggles. You're gonna go through some cool shit. You're gonna go through some hard times, and you're gonna go through some loving, cool times.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen no matter what. But fuck with your own shit. Meet cool people, and that's just where it is. Don't be shy to try cool things like that. And that's why I say fucking with your own shit. That's like a super general, broad statement, but that literally means all of it. Fucking with your own shit means do cool things, do things that you like, even if they're cheesy.
Even if they're good, do it.
Do it. Yeah. If you fuck with it, you fuck with it. And so that's what I say. I think a lot of people even speak on that, is if you fuck with it and it's what you want to do, people are gonna start fucking with it too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you're not trying to attract the people right now, especially like for me, I'm not trying to attract the people that don't fuck with the shit that I do. You know what I mean? They're cool, but they don't fuck with what I do or what I like or what I say or anything like that. That's fine. I'm not trying to attract you right now. I'm trying to attract the people that do fuck with my shit. And then one day, if I have a good enough audience, or if I make it to the point where I would like to be, um,
Yeah, definitely.
then I could start being like, maybe I need to try some smarter tactics, keep myself but be smart. But right now, you're just trying to find people that are gonna fuck with your own shit, and you gotta start fucking with your own shit first. And if you
Yeah.
don't,
Then
you're gonna
why are
get,
they? Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Not gonna
there's
be
nothing.
real. It's
Yeah,
not
there's
gonna be
nothing. There's
real.
nothing to produce at that point. So
Yeah.
yeah, just fuck with your own shit. There's a lot of cool people like that. I tell people that constantly, and that goes for anything, to be honest with you. But that's the cool thing about having cool friends and people that are in every different level, is that everyone says the kind of same thing. Everyone kind of snaps it back to you. I have amazing friends like my friend Zerd, my friend Abdu, my friend, like I have all these people that are at different levels at different places in their time, going from I'm just in university, I'm in uni, and I have friends that are working with the Times and working with all these other like, and everyone just we all give each other the same advice. Hey, get your head out of your ass, fuck with your shit.
Okay, fuck with
Um,
your shit. It's your shit.
yeah. And so that's pretty much it. That's literally all I give to people. Just fuck with your shit.
Okay, that's real,
Yeah,
and that's what we like around here. Um,
absolute.
if there's one or like, is there one or more things that you think would make the film industry better? I feel like we've already talked about that. You were talking about the inequality, the realness. Brands just doing it because of what they feel like would market better. But aside from that you've already spoken on, is there anything else that you feel like would make the film industry better? Um,
Mm, yeah. Um,
you think y'all want?
uh, I damn. I feel like what I talked about was definitely on Keynote and what was something that was explicitly known, like something that a lot of people know. I think the things that are go unnoticed and go unknown are things that we need to talk about, which again ties into like inequalities and stuff like that. But
Mm,
um, I think the day that we have more filmmakers and producers and people in the entertainment business in general that are just like really about making real shit. I think this is the day that entertainment will get a lot better. I think music's doing a great job of that. You know, it's very clear that you can tell when an album is like from music artists, you can tell when an album is like pretty forced from a label, and then we can tell an album is purely from an artist.
from the
Um,
artist.
yeah, there's a big difference in streams too. Like people don't realize that, but like there's a huge difference in streams, and the music industry lives off that shit. So when they feel like they didn't, a little oopsie, and they kind of forced streams and things like that, and streams are not coming off on top, then they kind of like try to reset that. And then the entertainment industry, and specifically the cinema industry, it's kind of not like that because entertainment is entertainment. And there's a lot of different types of entertainment,
Yeah.
and you get a Kevin Hart movie, and those make a lot of money, and so they might not be masterpieces, but they make a shit ton of money, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
Um, so I think like things like that need to change. It shouldn't be just off of how much money a movie makes or things like that, but like not only monetary value, but like specific. How do people come out of that movie? Because there's movies that make a lot of money that are just garbage ass
That
movies.
are garbage. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like though we've talked about the film industry throughout the whole thing, so
Oh
I
hell
think
yeah.
that was a good like comeback too. So we got a minute left, so I'm gonna do our little speed round. So we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you multiple questions. They have to be answered within 5 seconds.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So what is your favorite song right now?
Caesar. What's the song called? What's
Is
the
it the
song
new
called?
one?
No. It's off of her Control album.
Clocks.
It's not Gogina. I think it's Supermodel. I'm just like
Okay.
fucking with
Okay.
Supermodel right now.
Okay. What is your favorite thing to eat?
Oh, French fries all day, every day.
Oh, absolutely. What is your favorite tattoo at the moment?
Oof. I have Love is Stupid Don't Do It tattooed on my back of my neck.
Nothing.
But I think my favorite tattoo was done by my best friend, and it's my little cowboy girl that he just did.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, 18 seconds. Okay, favorite animal.
I like owls and penguins.
Okay. All right. So, love that. Big thank you to you. Please watch his films on YouTube. Check out his website, and as always, keep it chill. And we'll see y'all next time.